to Christ.
Yes, we understand the story.
And I am giving it to you in anchoring that same Christ energy collectively in all of us today,
right,
here and now, in the here and now.
Our deep appreciation to you for the gift.
All right, and then also I have a card for you. You had said to give us an invitation to join you on your ship and with the Asani. So I created a card. I don't know if the camera can show it to the camera so everybody can see it. It's everybody standing with all the different ships. So it's celebrating first contact, open contact.
Right.
And inside the card, several of us from Bashar group, Delta Light and Stephanie and Aaron and myself, we're all going to, tonight on Bell Rock, we invite you to join us. We'd like
My energy is always there. You can tap into it as deeply as you wish. It is not time for a physical face-to-face.
Okay. I am choosing to recall all my memories from past, present, future experiences with you in my here and now. So let that be said. So anyway.
It has been said.
So back to the card. The prime directive, which is what you use for government.
No, you misunderstand.
Okay, well, the orchestration of synchronicity.
Yes.
And us living into that in the now, here and now.
Yes.
The symbol for flow, unconditional love,
yes,
is on the card.
Right.
And also receive from sacred circuitry transmission.
Yes.
And express and also relate and connect and manifest. So we've all signed this card, and so we're with you.
We thank you.
Your interview with Alan Steinfeld really touched me deeply in my own awakening.
All right. And
there was a portion where Alan Steinfeld had asked you about Paul Lowe's group and you commented that it was the closest in vibration to the Asani on the planet currently.
Sasani.
Sasani, thank you.
The planet is Sasani. The people are Sasani.
Sasani.
Sasani is the planet.
Sasani for the planet.
Sasani.
Thank you for that correction. So my question is, how many people now currently are embodying that state, that presence, state of being the presence, love and awareness?
A physical number on your planet?
Yes, right now, that know it, actively know it, and integrating it, embodying it in the here and now.
13.
13 billion?
13.
13 individuals.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of you are close, but you asked us to express the number that absolutely embody that vibration. Most do not, no matter how close they may be. They are not yet like us. But 13 are.
Okay. So my next question is, in my 20s, I had an experience where I was driving my car and I saw an eagle fly ahead, and I thought, from a place of pure just love and interest, I was like, I want to see what the eagle sees from the eyes of the eagle. And immediately I was transported and seeing above, overhead, and
yes,
this immense love, connection with nature and life itself. And in that awareness state, I sensed and saw 2 grays in my car sitting behind me.
Oh, all right. How exciting.
It was exciting, and I would love to know if these grays were, one of them was myself, and...
Yes, but not you literally.
Another parallel version.
Yes, a parallel version, which is often the case. In the encounters with the grays, that one of them at least will be a parallel version of the being they are interacting with on Earth. That way, there is the creation of familiarity in the frequency.
Okay. So those were also like the beings that probably got my DNA to help?
Probably.
Yeah, okay, cool. Was there anything else going on?
Yes, they were observing your ability to shift your consciousness to the level of the eagle, so that they understood that the vibrational patterns were working in a certain way, that you were capable of doing that.
Awesome. Okay, thanks. My relationship to my Asani counterpart.
To your whom?
Sasani.
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 The people are Sasani.
Sasani.
Yes.
Okay, so my Sasani counterpart.
Yes.
To you in our family line, what is our relationship?
It is not a direct relation. It is simply another being on my planet at a different time frame.
It's not down the family tree.
Not exactly, no. We are all, in some sense, from the same family tree because we are an artificially created hybridized race. But in the way that you're asking it, it's not absolutely direct. More like distant cousin.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
And then I had an experience in a meditation where an amethyst crystal skull
Yes.
given to me by two dolphins.
Yes.
And in following my excitement, what transpired was some synchronistic events where literally I was going to Florida and there was a hurricane coming and we still went anyway, and we were guided to get some crystals to put into the ocean. And I met this guy, medicine man, and I told him about my meditation with the crystal skull, and he told me he was a walk-in dolphin, and he said, "One moment," and he walked away, and he came back from his room, and he handed me an amethyst crystal skull.
Yes.
Very large-sized crystal skull, and said, "I am now the guardian and the keeper of this skull." And I feel that it's connected to the 12 original crystal skulls.
Yes, the 13, actually, because there is a master skull. And the idea is that the original amethyst skull is under the sea.
Yes.
In the ruins of Atlantis. And therefore the dolphins are the keepers at the moment.
Yes.
That will do. Thank you. Our deep appreciation.
Okay. Thank you. My deepest love to you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I have a new normal.
Yes.
And it started when, at home, when I was woken up between 2 and 3 in the morning.
Typical.
And I was asked to look outside. And I went out, and Spirit said, "Look at your left." And I saw 2 aliens jumping or walking along my fence line, and they jumped into a portal.
Yes.
One turned and looked at me, and there was a recognition.
Yes.
And
she
then,
can see us.
Yeah, it was like that. And then they showed me later, they told me back to go out and look outside, and it was like 6 in the morning. And they said, "Look up," and I saw 3 Earths with my physical eye.
Yes.
And they said we would be hopping from this Earth to the second Earth.
Yes.
And
as we have said, there are an infinite number of parallel versions of Earth. And therefore, as you heighten your senses, you might actually be able to start seeing them.
This is true.
I know.
And
I said it.
It was and so then there was a time where they said, "We're going to be hopping the Earth." And I said, "Can I take my house with me? Because I really like it."
But your house is already there.
That's what they said.
I know.
And so I did. We did. So we're all part of the other Earth. And they said we would make 2 more hops, two new Earths.
Yes.
And then, like a year later, I'm sitting on my swing in my front yard, and I was talking on the phone with a friend, and the same breed of alien was walking along the fence line, and it stopped, and we stared at each other, and I told my friend I had to hang up because there was an alien staring at me.
Is your friend still your friend?
No. She's not. But that's okay.
That's what happens when you see aliens sometimes.
Yeah. And so when we looked at each other, it froze my body and froze my mind, and it did a quick scan up and down.
Yes.
And I felt the telepathy of, like, you're one of us, it's okay.
Yes.
And I started getting really tired, so I went in and lay down.
Yes.
And I think it went to jump in that portal.
Yes.
And then they took me on a ship and showed me a huge screen.
Yes.
And they said, we want to expand your consciousness.
Yes. Which
And
you asked them to do.
I was up for it, yes.
Yes.
And so they started off showing how they know everything about everybody, every penny they've spent, every word they've said. And
It's easy to tap into.
They got bigger and bigger. It made the Akashic records look very puny.
All right, but that's because the Akashic record idea, like I said, is an old-fashioned concept.
I believe that now.
Yes.
Yeah. And so after that, they were very kind and asked if they could continue to expanding my mind.
Yes.
And I allowed, but towards the end it got pretty heavy. My mind was having a little bit of
All right, yes.
difficulty taking in the information.
Might have reached your processing speed.
I think I maxed
Yes.
out, yeah.
That's all right.
And so then, so since that experience, my new norm is recognizing my future lives. Like you said this in your beginning,
Yes.
the past and the past lives don't hold any weight anymore.
Yes.
And the future life holds a lot of
Yes.
inner weight at
Yes.
this point in time.
Yes.
And so 2 of my lives is, one, I'm on a ship, I have an office, and I get invited to other ships.
Yes.
And a lot of times they discuss political Earth activities, and they scan my body to see my heart measurement in what's happening on planet Earth.
Yes.
And I just give them a heart measurement, it seems like quite often, on different
Yes.
ships. And
The heart is a recording device.
okay, I didn't know that.
Yes. It has its own way of thinking.
All right. So I don't feel used that way. I feel,
Well, you volunteered for this.
that's what I thought. Okay, but I wasn't sure, but it feels like that.
Yes. Because it is.
All right. And then the other life that I'm living parallel, and
That you're tapping into.
that I'm tapping into, and I
Because it's not literally you. It's
kind of-
another being.
yeah, but it looks like the same physical body in the,
Still not you.
okay,
It's another being. It's
Okay.
another version, which is
so-
distinct unto herself, that you are tapping into because you're all part of the same oversoul extension. Do you understand? You're all extended from the same oversoul.
Okay, so it's like we're split into 3
Yes.
beings?
Like the oversoul had triplets.
Okay. I like that. I like that. So my other experience is I'm a doctor. It feels like it's 250 years in the future. And I'm a surgeon with organs, but all the organs are made out of light
Well, they are made
and
out
frequency, and
of light. They are made out of light.
they're okay.
It's the recognition of that fact that you're now sensing. In the future life, the future being recognizes that physical matter is light. Even your own scientists really know this.
Uh-huh.
It's just that it comes to a larger expression of fruition in the future where it's understood clearly that that's what it is, and that small adjustments in frequency make all the difference. That's what the surgery is of the future. It's just adjustments in frequency. precise frequency adjustments.
Yeah, it seems like all the medical work, I have a medical office that I go to, that everything is done with frequency.
Yes.
And looking inside a human body and understanding everything in it, it's very simple.
Yes.
Everything's on a screen.
Yes.
And nothing can be hidden.
Right.
And when they ask for a new organ, whether it be a liver or a heart, or the frequency of the person increases with their new transplant, and
it shifts, yes.
Yeah, it feels really nice.
Yes.
So my question is,
Yes.
feels a little awkward being futuristic, and
Why? You're just not used to it, that's all.
Yeah.
But you will. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to being your future self. That's the whole idea. You're being informed from the future. So you'll get used to it.
So does humanity
Yes.
going towards their future lives?
This is what we call the evolution of becoming the sixth hybrid race.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So when I jumped to the other Earth, everything seemed to fall away. And if I watch political on TV, it seems more like
You're watching a transmission from a reality in which you no longer actually live.
Yeah.
Even though you can still observe it.
That's true.
And this is actually true for all of you.
I really like that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Just because you can still observe a reality that is not vibrationally compatible with you doesn't mean you're actually living in it. Doesn't mean it has any ability to